Hey folks, Pastor Sean coming to you with today's daily devotion. It's been a busy week, and so I missed a couple of days. Wednesday and Thursday, we didn't have a devotion, and I was just it was just a full day and afternoon and evening, and I didn't get a chance to shoot any of these videos. So as I was reading this morning, my daily scripture, one jumped off the page and just it just grabbed me, and so I thought, well, I'm gonna shoot my video this morning. I'm going to shoot a little extended video because this one really just grabbed me this morning in the heart and drew me into a place with the Lord where I really felt this scripture down deep in my soul. We're in Psalms 27 this morning. Psalms 27, and if you have the Bible app, you've already seen this verse this morning. Psalms 27, starting with verse 4, and I'm going to read a couple of verses from this scripture here. It says, one thing, Psalms 27, 4, one thing I ask of the Lord, this is what I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to seek him in his temple. For in the day of trouble he will keep me safe in his dwelling. He will hide me in the shelter of his tabernacle, set me upon a high rock. Then my head will be exalted above the enemies who surround me, and his tabernacle I will sacrifice with shouts of joy, and I will sing and make music to the Lord. David says, out of all the craziness that's going on in my life, out of all the great things that are happening, all of the crazy things that are happening, all of the big battles, all of the little fights, all of the great days that I've had of being the king and being in connection with God, the one thing I want is to be able to be in his house. Now, that one punched me this morning. That one punched me right in the heart this morning. Here's David, a man after God's own heart. And we understand why. David says, I can be out on the battlefield, on the field of battle. I can be in the vineyards. I can be by the waterside. I can be down at the ocean. I can be anywhere I want to be. But you know where I want to be? I want to be in the house of God. I want to be in his house. I want to be in his presence. I want to know that he is going to protect me, that he is going to look after me, and I'm going to go into his house and I'm going to shout shouts of joy and sing songs of praise. Not too long ago, just a few weeks ago, we were at the ocean. We were down the Gulf of Mexico in South Alabama there at Gulf Shores, and the water is coming in and the sun is shining and the white sand is glistening and it's warm, it's beautiful, surrounded by family. And I thought, boy, this is a great moment. It's a great moment. Just a few days ago, I was in a restaurant having a conversation with Zach, and he and I were having a conversation back and forth, and basketball is on, and there's people around, and the place is alive with a buzz. And I thought, man, this is a great moment. This is a great point in time. I've been on top of the mountains in the Smoky Mountains, Stephanie and I, looking over the majesty the majesty that God has placed, those majestic mountains there. And we've seen the smoke, the haze sitting down in the mountains, coming through that haze, snow on the ground, and just beautiful. What a great moment. David says, that's all well and good, but I want to be in the house of the Lord. He says, oh, one thing I ask of the Lord. This is what I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord. How long? All the days of my life. David said, I want to be in the presence of God regardless. I want to be in the tabernacle. I want to be in his presence. I want to feel him all around me. I want to know that I'm protected, that I'm shielded, that I'm covered by him, that he's going to lift me up. For in the day of my trouble, he will keep me safe in his dwelling. He will hide me in the shelter of his tabernacle. And you got to remember now, this is pre-temple. He's going to hide me in the shelter of the tabernacle. Now, the tabernacle was not a shelter. It was a set of curtains. It was a set of curtains that were put up out in the middle of the desert or out in the middle of the field or on the side of a mountain. And it wasn't any kind of shelter at all. But David says, it's not the building. It's not what it looks like on the outside. It's not what it looks like on the inside. What I'm looking for is the God of the tabernacle. The God of the house. That's what I'm looking for. And I thought about that this morning, and I thought about as I drove from Buc-ee's out to our house. There are 3 or 4 churches out through there. One is in a little mobile home. It's a single wide mobile home. It sits up on top of the hill. You can't even see it. There's another one out there toward Applebee's and Longhorns. It's this big 2-story building. It's just a beautiful, beautiful building. There's a small brick one that sits back off side of the road that kind of looks like our church. It kind of sits back off the road, and ours is over on the back road off of Irwin Hill there, and ours is a very traditional looking church. And then you go uptown, and there are these churches that are in movie theaters and all these different, and you walk into these beautiful edifices and you walk into these beautiful houses, and that's not what we're looking for. It's not about what the church looks like. It's not about what the place looks like. It's about the God that is in that place. David says, you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking to dwell in the house of God forever. I can sit on the throne. That's okay. I can ride in the chariot. That's okay. I can march in front of my army. That's okay. But you know what I want to do? I want to be in the house of the Lord. If we want to have passion in our lives, if we want to have connectivity in our life, if we want to see God move in our family, in our finances, in our marriage, in our bodies, in our lives, we have to have a desire to be in his house, to be in his presence, to shed off everything that hinders us and go to the house of God. Because in my time of trouble, he will be there. In my time of strength, he will be there. When I need safety and shelter, he will be there. When I just need encouragement, God will always be there in his house. So, in this extended version of today's daily devotion, here's my message. Get yourself to the house of God. That's where he dwells. That's where he lives. That's where he stays. That's where he is the most. And he wants you and me to come in and sing praises, shouts of victory. Watch what God will do when you show up. David, when you show up in the house of God. I love you. I am praying for you. I believe God's going to give you a magnificent weekend. It is a beautiful day outside. It's a little drizzly, but it's a beautiful day outside. I'm believing for a great, great weekend at Irwin Hill. Come on out Saturday and be with us for our spring fling. Come on out Sunday at 11 and be in service with us. Get there a little early. Do some fellowship. Drink some coffee. Get into the house of God this weekend. Watch God change your perspective. I love you. God bless you. As always, is my prayer.